Hello everyone, so I've made a couple revisions to the song. I'm up to the third revision. I've put in quite a lot of work since I made the last video. It's been quite some time now, so I just wanted to kind of show you the progress that I'd made on this version, and then I'll show you the next two revisions and the progress that I've made so far. The song is ready to submit and I just want to show you what I've made. This is kind of the updated version of what you heard last time. I'll just kind of show you the intro and the bridge, and then we'll just kind of take it from there. So let's have a little listen. Okay, so that's sort of the first revision of the song. It's kind of awkward for me because I can't hear the screen recording, which is kind of annoying, so I kind of just have to pretend to bob my head. I have taken each part of the drums and added them out as their own MIDI channel and then bounced all of these out as audio tracks. Remember from the last video, the Logic project kept crashing every time I would try and play it. That's because I had way too many MIDI tracks. So what I've done is I've bounced all of them out as audio tracks just to save my computer some time, and then it also means when I go into the studio or I use a different computer, I don't lose all of these sounds because they're not then tied to a MIDI instrument. So it's been super useful. And yeah, so I'll show you the second revision. The biggest issue regarding this track is that obviously there's no guitars in it. When it came time to add guitars into it, everything was just way too messy, and all the way through there was sort of just one sustained level of energy throughout the song. The feedback that I felt from myself and from Jack Wood, my guitar teacher, and a few other people I showed, is they all really liked it, and it is a sick song without actual instruments, but it's not a metal track, really, is it? And the melodies are pretty cool, but I think I just wasn't really that creative because I had the synths and the strings and the brass following the bass line. So I am happy with that revision because, granted, that was just like take one. I'm pretty happy with it, but at the same time, to me it didn't really feel Abbey Road worthy because it just felt like there was no rise and fall. It was just kind of one sustained level all the way through, and it didn't really have like a song energy to it, if you will. This is basically a recreated version, and the previous version I added in like a bassline synth and some other stuff, so I scrapped all of that, and these are demo guitar tracks. I've used some risers here to, you'll hear it in a minute, but just kind of to transition, and where I've put in pauses to build like tension, these risers really just make it sound a bit better. And I've also layered up the vocals. It's the same sort of sound, but just gives it a bit more width and a bit more depth. And then again, yeah, I've got this mid-synth, the higher pitched thing that comes in and erupts in places, and then I've got the strings and the brass. And yeah, I'll stop rambling and let's just go. zoned out a bit there, and obviously I can't hear the audio. Yeah, as you can see, these were kind of like very rough takes on the guitar. This revision is kind of the transition in between where the song is at now. There's a train going past my house. I live really rurally in Cornwall, right? This revision is the clear transition between where the song is at now, which I'm really happy with it, and kind of where it started in that first revision. So as you can see, this came up to nearly 105 tracks, and I've gotten rid of a lot. But yeah, this is like the brass, the strings running in like these sections here, as you can see, and the lead synth, I muted that up until the end. But again, it just feels way too messy, way too crowded. And I was gassed about it at the time, but listening back on it, it's definitely just way too messy, way too crowded, and it needs revising. It's not Abbey Road worthy. However, I have also submitted it as well, and I'm not gonna ruin the surprise, but I already know the outcome of this song. I was slack with making the videos. By the time I've gotten around to doing it, I've already submitted it and already had the call with them. The outcome wasn't necessarily what I expected, but you'll find out in the future videos. This is kind of the final revised version of the song. What I found myself doing in this revision was taking out a lot more than I was actually adding. Because, you know, I just wanted to add and just put all of these like sick layers in and just have like all of this like stuff just going on all the time. But it just didn't work. It sounded way too much, way too messy, way too muddy. And it's still kind of like that in places, but it's a lot better, and this version is more like an actual song. So let me just. This is not the most professional screen recording you've ever seen, but hopefully it's somewhat entertaining. Hopefully. What I've done here is, again, the drums. I've changed them slightly just to add in some more fills, just to build tension and sort of more transition-y parts. And I've bounced all of that out as audio tracks. I didn't actually get time to do vocals, which I was kind of gutted about. The studio session got postponed, and then I was trying to do it at home, and it just was sounding shit, and it just didn't happen. But at the end of the day, this song is a work in progress, and eventually it will be released within an album. So this is just like the bare bones of the song, basically, so I'm not too gutted. The bass is completely different in this revision. So what I've done to the bass is I've completely changed the riffs so that they follow the guitars, because otherwise I found in the previous revision I had the guitar riffs going, then I had the bass line in its own separate thing, and it just sounded horrible. It just sounded like I was listening to a few different things, and it took some brutal criticism and also me stepping away from the song and coming back to it to actually hear it, because obviously when I was making it I was just like gas and I was like, yeah, it's fucking sick, but it came to points where it just sounded shit, it sounded muddy, and it just wasn't a proper song, and I knew that it wouldn't really please them all that much. So the bass is same concept. It's the DI, the clean and the dirt, and then I've basically blended them and bounced them into an audio track to have like one huge sound, which I'll just play you now. I can't really play each individual one because I bounced them together, but it just sounds a lot bigger, basically, and I'm pretty happy with that. And then of course comes the guitars. So this was fucking long. I basically quad-tracked everything, which means that you record it 4 times, like 4 separate takes, and 4 perfect takes as well, just to really sort of beef the tones up. So I'll play you how the guitars sound now. This guitar tone was my Marshall JVM and my Orange Dual Dark in stereo together, profiled onto the Quad Cortex, and then I've just basically recorded them in stereo together and got 4 takes of then both of those amps in stereo together, but obviously they're all mono takes. And then how it works is I've got 2 tracks panned all the way, or sorry, one of them panned all the way left, and then the other panned 75% left, and then again on the right, all the way right, and then 75% right, just to kind of give it a bit more, ooh, That's bad. I didn't pan that one properly. But anyway, it just basically gives it more depth and more width and all of that sort of good stuff. But yeah, I'm super happy with the guitar tones. Those amps sound fucking amazing. And the biggest challenge, honestly, was just controlling the low end. But as you can see, I've kind of gone pretty deep into mixing them. So yeah, that's essentially the guitars. Really, really happy with how they've come out. I wanted to put in a guitar solo, but again, everything I tried just sounded shit, and I wanted this song to be really good. You know, I didn't want there to be any kind of weak links in it, and I felt adding a guitar solo just because my ability was the weakest link. And also, I cut out the brass just because it just muddied up the low end and it just wasn't necessary. I couldn't hear it anyway, so it was just clogging the song up. Found myself just kind of simplifying the strings, honestly, just to single notes. I added in this little like stringed bit at the beginning, which I'll show you in a minute, and then the chorus, I completely changed the chorus from the last revision, and I'll show you that in a moment. And then again, the strings and like these synthy sounds, they kind of follow the notes of the chorus just so that you're sort of listening to one cohesive piece of music. It doesn't sound like you're just listening to a jumbled bracket, basically. So I'll show you the pre-chorus and the chorus, and then you'll know what I mean. So yeah, in my opinion, it's still a bit muddy in places, but honestly, in the time frame that I had and kind of, I won't say resources, because obviously I've got quite an extensive range of resources to my disposal, but kind of my own skill set and the fact that I'm just one guy in my bedroom, I don't have a full band with me, which would be kind of like the ideal thing. This is kind of as good as I could get it, honestly, and I really, really do hope that they like it. It might be something different to what they've heard, I don't know, because I guess Abbey Road is quite rocky still, and this is sort of like modern metal, so yeah, I really do hope that they enjoy it. I'm really proud of this song, because I've never actually really written a piece of music like this. The songs that I submitted in the actual submission for the Abbey Road school were just kind of test projects from my previous music tech course, which I was doing evening classes in. So yeah, this is like the first song that I've really written start to finish, even though it's obviously way off being finished. This is kind of the first actual musical project I've ever like seriously worked on, so I am super, super proud of it, and I think they will like it. You know, I'm confident in that, and I genuinely believe that, granted it's not finished, but I do genuinely believe that it is a solid song. I think I'll wrap it up there, and the next video will be the song itself with a little maybe guitar playthrough of me playing it or something like that, and then I'll give you the mix breakdown of the song, going through all of these little tiny tweaks and edits that I've made just to really show you how I've mixed the song. And then I'll also do a review of the track, and I'll let you know what actually happens, whether or not I get in or not. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Again, I know this is completely different kind of content to what I usually make, but you know, this is a big thing for me, so I thought, fuck it, why not document it? So if you've gotten any value from this video, entertainment, you've enjoyed it, please like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend, all of that good stuff. Leave a comment, let me know what you think of the song so far, if there's anything you changed, what you'd add, any critical feedback I'm more than open to. I'll see you next week when I'll actually be performing this. I say performing, I'll literally be filming myself playing it in my bedroom, but yeah. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.